All right, guys, you've seen my social media. You know how ridiculously excited I am. Can I just say, Mr. Anthony Ray, Sir Mix-a-Lot, sitting right next to me right now. So stoked I can't even stay in my skin.
I was sound checking, and she just came up there and grabbed me by my old raggedy t-shirt, said, get your butt over here and get on camera right now. So excuse the attire, but it'll look better later.
You know what? It's because we love you. We got you. We got you before the show. We got you during the show. Can I just say right now that we are so incredibly honored to have you in Savannah.
I'm happy to be here. You guys have some food. You don't even appreciate it. Shrimp and grits? Are you kidding me? I'm on it. This is my spot. Yes.
All right, so obviously people in our community, we know your work, and of course, we know Baby Got Back. But let's talk, we're gonna talk about Baby Got Back because we need to, but let's talk about your career as a whole. We're talking producing, songwriting, hitting the mic fresh out of high school. What has your life been like?
To tell you the truth, it's been a lot of luck. I'm one of those people that believes hard work is preparation for a lucky day. So I was working towards, I didn't know. I just was working on stuff. I got my inspiration from Kraftwerk, because they were a German group back in the 70s and 80s that did techno, and they didn't have a band. I'm like, you mean I can do music with no band? Oh, hell no. So I jumped right on it, and the rest is history. I started DJing. I was always into electronics, so I built my own mixer, way before the Flash Former. I was actually doing transforming mixers and stuff like that with little momentary on-off switches. Yeah, so I don't want to bore you, but
you're not boring us by any means.
That's what I do.
Something I have to say is your fellas who came with here tonight, they were so just humble about you and your genius engineering skills. I mean, this is something that is in every single cell of your body.
Now, the technical aspects of music is what I love, right? I'm not a shine hoe. I don't need to be seen. It really wouldn't matter to me. If being seen pays the bills, okay. But I would rather engineer records. That's what I love, technology. I'm serious. I mean, I have money in two tech companies right now. Hope they make me some money.
I'm not sure this is wood.
Damn.
All right, so here's the deal. Let's talk about it. Baby Got Back, 1992. You changed my life. You changed Amy's life. You changed the life of every single curvy girl out there.
And for those of you who don't know, Amy got some booty. Trust me, I mean, she's off camera like, I don't play that stuff, but I'm just being real.
She is a beautiful Puerto Rican woman.
I do not look at women when they know, but I will conveniently walk slower than them so I can get behind and get that angle. Trust me.
It's perfect. It's perfect. But let me remind you, Amy is our boss, and we love her.
Yeah, Amy don't play that.
She is the brains behind all
of this.
She
is giving me the finger next to the index right now, but
But let's talk about Baby Got Back and the way it literally changed an entire culture and mindset.
Yeah, Baby Got Back is kind of weird because initially it was going to be a serious song. And I had a problem. Let's rewind and go to the late 80s. The only time you saw a woman of color in a positive light was The Cosby Show, right? So if you saw Hispanic women, they were often played prostitutes and maids. If you saw African American women, they often played prostitutes and maids. Or, the seriously overweight family advisor role. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm here to help the little children. And it irritated the hell out of me because in Hollywood, if you had color, you weren't beautiful, just by default.
Right.
Even if you were, you weren't accepted. I mean, Vanessa Williams was an exception, I guess. But I wanted to do something about it, so I initially started to do this serious song, and I was like, this is depressing. So I said, you know what, let me make it kind of tongue-in-cheek and poke fun at the corporations that quote-unquote define beauty, like Cosmo and all the rest of them. And it pissed them off. They fired back at me, which made the song blow up. So
it was amazing. And what you literally did for every single little girl out there who developed too early, who was maybe a little heavy, who had the curves that were teased and the boys were making fun of, you did a huge service.
That's the thing. In my community, that was never a little heavy. That little waist and that, oh my goodness. It was never viewed as that. And what it really kind of tripped me out, and much as I love Eddie Murphy movies, and Eddie Murphy was kind of perpetuating that, by dogging girls that had butts. And I'm like, his loss. I'll take his leftovers then.
But let's talk about what you did with the quote-unquote drive from the Leftovers. You perpetuated that song into not only double platinum, #1, a Grammy win, but then even 20 some odd years later, you were still able to bring in the royalties because of how incredible that was.
A lot of times when people do a song that big, they have a tendency to resent the fact that they did it, which is stupid. Because when you go in the studio, you pray that you can make a song that big, right? So I knew early on when it went #1, I said, I will never do that. So the song became its own brand.
Its own entity,
aside of
living,
Mix-a-Lot, it
breathing.
was its own brand. And I had other hits. Posse on Broadway was double platinum, you know, and I don't know where Baby got. We stopped counting at 3 million. I don't know where it's at. It's probably over 20 million, who knows. But I decided to, instead of try to snuff the song out, to cultivate it.
Right.
And I started to use it in different ways. Not too much, didn't want to whore it out. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that if there was an ad that fit, I let it happen. If it didn't fit, I won't let people dog the song. I won't let people, I did mess it up. I did do one thing I'm ashamed of.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah,
we won't talk about that. Let's talk about Nicki Minaj. Let's talk about the insanity, like all of these years from that one bit of genius from you.
You know, with the Nicki Minaj, it's really interesting because I've done a few interviews and people go, how do you feel about the fact that Nicki Minaj turned that song into something it wasn't? That's not true, because in Baby Got Back, I was trying to tell America to learn to accept African American ideas of beauty, you know, and especially Puerto Rican women. Lord!
That's Amy, a direct reference to Amy.
Yeah, I mean, J-Lo, whatever. You know, so I was trying to tell America to accept this, right? So fast forward. So when Nicki Minaj does the song, she's not saying, accept me. She's saying, I've already been accepted, which means Baby Got Back worked.